Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot a video on how to start the generator. Now this video is strictly for my wife, Carrie. My name is Greer, and this is basically how to start the generator and how to set it up, the generator, into the house here. So if you don't have any need for this type of video, it's not educational or anything like that, then you might as well stop it right now. Alright, so on with the process. What I did was I moved the generator into position right here. Okay, what you want to do is you want to actually move it so that it is basically in this type of position. Alright, because it may vibrate a little bit, so you don't want it to vibrate off the step down here. Okay, another thing you want to keep mindful is that this is the exhaust. Do not let anything hit the exhaust. Do not put the exhaust up against the house or anything, otherwise we'll have another incident. We don't want that. Alright, to start the generator, what we're going to do is I'm just going to kind of turn it a little bit sideways so you can see. This over here is the fuel line. Now this here indicates that it's off. What you want to do is you want to turn this so it's up like that, and that will turn on the fuel. Second thing you want to do, run over to the other side and turn this switch right here on. And then the third thing you want to do is, this is the choke and also the idle. You want to look at it down here. It says choke, so you want to push this all the way over. Now, if you're just starting this cold, like if it's been sitting for a day, then you definitely want to choke it. If you just shut it down to refuel, you should not have to choke it. You should be able to just start it right up. You just flip the switch and start it right up. So once you get started, you're going to want to adjust this to where it runs better. Okay, this is your kind of your throttle. You'll hear it kick a little bit, running rough. Turn this down a little bit, turn it up a little bit. When you start to put a load on it, you might still need to adjust it just a little bit more. So listen to the generator. It's not just basically a start it up and walk away from it. So you want to kind of look at it. All right. Obviously, you want to make sure you have fuel. All right. Never fuel it while it's running. You'll want to shut it down. And in order to shut it down, if you have to kill it, the red switch. Just turn the red switch, and that's it. So what we did was recap. We basically put it in position, fuel on, switch on, and then choke. Choke is all the way to the left. Now, the first time you do this, it might take a few pulls. I had this running a couple hours ago, so it might not take that many pulls for me. So you want to give a nice, good, hard pull. So let's see if I can do this while holding the camera. And you can hear it running rough right now. So you hear that running rough? I'm going to go ahead and adjust it. And that's it. Now I just shut it down so you can hear me. So we're going to pretend it's running right now. So you'll want to basically put it in position. Again, make sure the exhaust is nowhere near anything, because it does get very hot and it could cause a fire. Alright? You're going to come into the house, and you're going to take this nice extension cord I have here. This is a great extension cord for anybody else who's viewing this video. This is one of those extension cords that has a power lead, and then it'll have an outlet, and then have another outlet, and it'll have another outlet. I think it has about 8 outlets. You're going to take the extension cord, run it inside the house first, come down here, take a little knife and pop that out. Now there's going to be some insulation in here. I haven't put the insulation in yet. So just pop it out, just like that, okay? Push the cord through, and what you want to do is you want to push it all the way through, probably until it gets to about there, so you have at least one handy. Alright, And then after you're all done, you'll probably want to take a sock and maybe wrap a sock around it and stuff the sock in the hole with the knife to prevent, especially if it's cold outside. So once the generator is running and it's idling nice, you had it running for about a couple minutes, and you've done this, take this cord and you should be able to just plug it in right in here just like that, and you should get power. Make sure these two buttons, these are circuit breaker buttons, make sure these two buttons are pressed in, and then that's it, and then you should have power into the house. One of the things, you'll be able to run small things like lights. You'll be able to grab some lights and plug them in. If you have to, if you really have to and you want to run the refrigerator, you'll have to pull the refrigerator out, unplug it, maybe run the extension cord over to one of them, and you'll be able to plug it in like that. You will not be able to run the stove, all right? And the plug for the microwave is in an area where you can't get to, so you won't be able to run that. Sorry about that. But you will be able to run various lights. You'll be able to run the computer if you need. Do not recommend running the computer too much unless you really have to, because it's unclean power. Generator generates unclean power. Take this second extension cord, you can run it up here, and you'll be able to run it into the heater, that one heater you have. Make sure the heater legs are spread out, and then kick it on. Once you turn, especially the heater, because the heater does draw a lot of power, so make sure when you turn the heater on that you go ahead and go down and check the idle on it. Make sure the idle is adjusted. And that's about it. You should be able to, if you do still have cable, you should be able to plug the TV in that's in his bedroom, and you'll have lights and TV and everything else. All right? Enjoy.